What is good, guys? Today is day 10 and we are going to be backtesting until we're profitable. So this is a series I've started that I will be doing daily backtesting until I get to the profitability. And yeah, most traders really show the part of like the supercars, the wins. Yeah, they don't show the part where you're all confused and starting to think like, what if this doesn't work? But it has to work no matter the case. That's why you should keep pushing. That's why you should keep going even when you don't feel like to. So we're going to do some backtesting and hope you stick till the end, and we will be back right after the small intro. Great, so let's go to Euro USD. We're going to do backtesting for Euro USD, but I'll be using FX replay. Just that I was doing some analysis before the market opened. So it's the it's the weekly analysis, market weekly analysis to see how this week might behave. Alright, let's go to the FX replay. So let's go to the session of backtesting. Okay. Right, so here's GJ. Let's go to Euro USD. Right, so you can see as we took some losses. Let's remove all this graffiti and do some analysis. Great, so that's the daily time frame first of all. I see that there's a really crazy drop. I have a really crazy drop right here, and we're going to see what we will be dropping to. So when we go to the monthly, because I said of course we were downtrend, I started some small accumulation in here. We go to the weekly, see that this week was also bearish. We go to the daily, you can see that we had a liquidity sweep of this high. We took liquidity from this high. So let's make a sweep here. Great, so this is a good liquidity sweep. Yeah, and now we're looking to get an entry to the downside going downwards, because we have seen that we were bearish and these corrective moves have come to an end. And let's see if you can mark out some important liquidity points. So first of all, you might notice some levels on the daily time frame, such as this daily order block. Okay, so you might notice that this is a strong order block because it's followed by this fair value gap, and this is also another strong order block, but I think it was tapped in because this fair value gap has been filled, so the chances of going down there are less. And when we go to the 4 hour, you can see that market kept dropping. We can see some sell side liquidity near this fair value gap on this low. The reason I chose this one is because it's near our point of interest, which means market trying to reach this order block, it will take out the liquidity on this low, same as the way it has taken out this one and this low. So this one is an important point of sell side liquidity. Okay, so this day was Wednesday, and I think this one would be better off a bit blue, sorry, not here, and the borders right, not something like this. Okay, so we're looking to go to the downside, so maybe we might expect some small retracement, then we head lower, since we have an inverse fair value gap in here. Inversion fair value gap, yeah, IFVG. And with the 2 hour, you can see that the fair value gap in here has been retested and then market dropped. So what time were we were at 7 on Wednesday, and we can see that London session had already started somewhere here. These candles right here were the start of London session, and so let's be looking for entries heading to this order block, daily order block. So let's go to the 1 hour now. Okay, so 1 hour still shows bearish signs, no changes. And one thing I'd like to mark out is on 30 minutes I usually mark the 9:30, sorry, Wednesday at 9:30 is gonna be here. So we see the behavior of Wednesday. Not the 15-minute now. Let's see how this one does. Okay, so it pushes higher, and by the start of a New York session, we can see it hasn't reached our inverse fair value gap. But will it even reach it? We'll find that out. Let's go to 5 minutes. It's consolidating a bit. Our entry will be the exact moment it touches this inverse fair value gap, and we target sell side liquidity here. So this might be a good trade. This right here, and we target this one right here. Alright, so yeah, the moment it touched the inverse, look for an entry. So it's a 2-hour trade. Let's see how this one goes. So it's consolidating really crazy this day. I don't know why. This day there was no valid movement in the market. So let's start doing analysis for Thursday, because I can see this day is starting to play with us. And so let's mark out 2 of Thursday. 2. Our narrative is still the same, our bias is still the same. So this is 2, and we'll mark out 9:30 as well. 9:30 Thursday. Yeah, those are the important times we need. This trade is taking way longer than expected. So by the start of Thursday, London session started showing some strong movement now, heading to the downside. You know, it's not really pushing much. Let's see if today's session will push it lower. Today's New York session. So on the bigger picture, we are trying to drop a bit, and boom, TP has been hit, even though it took a millennium for this trade to work out. So you can see that in the end we reached where we wanted to reach. You can see the fair value gap was tapped in, the inverse fair value gap we had used as well was retraced back to. And let's see how long this one took. A day and some hours, 21 hours, which is almost like a full day. So this trade took a bit long, but analysis was correct. So what we learned from this trade is target valid liquidity points. So I will take this trade again if I see this setup. What I've been teaching my mind is, even if I find a failed setup of mine which I trusted, I am sure that I will take it again, and if I am, then that's a good setup. So this one is one of the good setups. So we are still on the big goal of reaching to this order block, and maybe if we reach this order block, we might look for some upward movement. That's the place we'll start to look for some upward movement. So let's go to the 2 hour again. Currently Thursday. Let's see what the PM session does. No big changes. So what we might look for in these times is a possible retracement to valid fair value gap or an order block. Then we would look for sales until we reach this level right here, which is that daily order block. So PM session doesn't want to provide an entry. In the end, it's got to reach to the order block maybe. So it's Friday. Let's see what happens at Friday. Let's mark the start of London, start of New York. So London is going in crazy right now. So you can see the London high, fast liquidity generated, fast liquidity point generated. So what might be redeemed? So we want price to reach this order block, and as we can see when you go on the higher picture as in the daily, the order block is all of this downward move starting from the open of this candle right here. Let me zoom in a bit. So starting from the open of this candle right here would also be in the order block, but we like to mark this last candle. So we are still in this order block, and we might be ready to reject off of it. That's why in the 15-minute I was looking for something like this. So since we have this low right here, I was looking for London to sweep it for creating a high such as this one, then sweep this. I was looking for London to create a high such as this one, maybe it's okay, retracement to this fair value gap, then sweep this low as it goes to the order block, sweep this low, then continues higher. So by going higher, I mean to do something like this, create a fair value gap or some POI to push it higher, then it comes for these London highs, and that will confirm that we are about to reverse, or maybe that's a corrective move, because reversal will be tracked on a kind of bigger time frame for me, maybe on the 1 hour. So you can see that liquidity has been swept. It's okay. Let's see what happens in London. So London drops a bit before taking out London highs. New York drops before taking out London highs. So it has reached in that kind of consolidation phase. I think you can see it's not making any significant moves, slowly by slowly. You can see our goal has been achieved in the end, reached our fair value gap, and though our backtesting session has ended, no worries. We can mark the sweep needed. We can see we had some relatively equal lows right here, so we've got our liquidity sweep. We've got the sweep right here. Great. So I can see that these lows were taken out, and now this is the next buy side. Sorry for my voice. I am a bit sick, but yeah, with the sick, with the okay, we have to do it. So this is one of the times we would like to see what the market is about to do when it reaches this order block. So will it reach the midpoint and then reverse, or will it sweep out the liquidity on the low of the order block somewhere here and then push higher? Let's find that out. And it's currently 31st May 16/30 2017. So let's create another session. Okay, so new session from markets season 2. It's 100k, and we will be backtesting Euro USD NAS 100. Sorry, whoops. NAS 100, US 500. Oh, sorry, SP 500. Okay. We will be using GBP USD. I think these are the most important. I'll be trading. I'll be backtesting, I mean. So here's the backtest layout, and we'll go back to 2017, March 31st. Somewhere right here. And the time was 16. Date this day. So I think I'll be backtesting until the time I reach this date, because if we continue backtesting every single day, we reach the date we are at. So let's see, I've played almost 2 years anyway, so let's go to the season 2. This one is invalidated, has been done. Let's go to this one right here. It's a bit behind. Let's play it. Wow, we passed this. I think it was somewhere in here. So you can see as soon as the week opened, it opened with some small gap, some small new week open gap. This one, this volume imbalance in here, you can see it. Yeah, fell to the midpoint, and then market started pushing a bit higher. Let's mark up the important times. Monday at 2 and at 9:30. Great. The sea market has started to push a bit higher according to our daily analysis. Alright, time frame analysis. I have a good reaction of our fair value gap in here. That's the reaction we're having. And by the start of London, we had a big drop. You can see by the start of New York, I had this sweep inside of here. You can note it. You have a sweep in here. For 5 minutes. Okay. So I might look for a short-term buy as a version off of the order block, but let's see if confirmations align. We wanted a sweep, we got it. We've got a shift, we got a fair value gap which was retested, and we are on a higher time frame POI. Stop loss below this low, and we target some of the highs in here, or this one right here. So this is at 10. Let's see if this one plays out, but I don't have high confidence in this one because we didn't even reach the midpoint of the order block. I don't know, but let's see how this one plays out. I stopped out and we kept dropping, so some would have been a low probability trade. So let's be looking for some sells in the meantime. And this playing. Sorry, this up a bit. Okay. We can see that at 2, market started dropping a bit. That was at the start of New York session. Somewhere right here. At 2. Has price dropped to midpoint yet? Not yet. I think when we look at the daily time frame, you can see that there is some consolidation of some indecision. And we can see right here on the order block, very big indecision candles right here. I think this is usually the time when you sit on your hands because market's not providing an entry. So we're seeing some kind of turtle soup right here. some accumulation, manipulation, then distribution. This is some kind of PO3 right here. So maybe pushing higher for at last. This whole week we haven't found an entry. Because now we're in April. When they play this. Okay. What's the 15-minute now? So in the end, we pushed higher. Crazy. This one's crazy. So go to the 30-minute now and see what is happening in here. So we are having a rejection off of the daily order block, and we might be starting to have a push to the upside in the end. So I think this is a nice one. So a 15-minute order block reaction, this one, which aligns with this small liquidity sweep on Tuesday after this volume imbalance has been created. A small sweep, a shift in structure. Let's see if we have an FVG retracement. Okay, so valid entry. We don't know yet. Let's see if we can. Let's first mark some levels of liquidity. The level of liquidity we might be targeting, or some POIs. So a few pips below the low. And when we go to the 30-minute, you can see that this has been, we can move this one. We have a new level of liquidity right here. You will forgive me for the lines. It's because we've backtested some days, so there's this. We have to also rebalance and fill these gaps. This is the recent liquidity point, strong liquidity point that we have. So we might look for that to be taken out. 15-minute now. Let's target here. Good. Stopped out really quick after some minutes, almost an hour or two. How long? An hour and 30 minutes. So let's see what it does. Let's take it now. We've got a win and 2 losses for the day. Price is going aggressively in these moves right here. I don't know if you can notice this. So the first call is to either have this buy side liquidity taken out or have price reach the order block midpoint. Let's speed it up a bit. Okay, midpoint almost. We were almost near the midpoint. almost. Almost. Yeah, midpoint hit now. And after price hit mid, I think this was like some news. 7th April, Friday. Yeah, this is a big NFP move right here. Sweep of this, and then it dropped as crazy. Anyways, so let's see a bigger picture now. Let's go to 2 hour and hide the drawings. Let's see the direction. So we can see it dropping still. It hasn't gone below this low right here of the, okay, you can see it broke it of the order block. You can see it having a continuous drop still, so maybe we might reconsider having a new view on what the daily time frame or other higher time frames will be telling us. Let's see, we have another order block here. We'll go to the 4 hour. Let's put back the images, no worries. Ooh, looks a bit dirty. We can see we have another order block in here. We'll go to the daily maybe. We can mark it out more clearly. There's this one, there's this one. So this one will now act as a breaker block. So until we talk again in the next backtesting session, be safe. We will be expecting maybe market to touch this breaker block and then push lower and lower and lower. So peace, be safe.